I hope you braved the little pullback we just went through in some coins, although it seems that some other coins are poised to run. So let's go through some of these coins, do some analysis, and let's see what the charts can tell us. We're going to start with Bitcoin here, which recently ran up to $4,400, almost to the penny, and actually looks like it was to the penny. Right there, high of 4,400. Look right here. So Bitcoin ran up to $4,400, and it's putting in a small head and shoulders pattern right here. If you're not familiar with a head and shoulders pattern, this is a topping pattern indicating some selling. You can look, if you can find a head and shoulders pattern by the head, which is the highest point. There's a left shoulder, there's a right shoulder. Typically the shoulders are at approximately the same level, which they are here. Occasionally one or the other shoulder will be a little higher, normally the right one, but that doesn't have to be the case. There's also a neckline within the head and shoulders pattern. The neckline is actually the point which validates the pattern or invalidates the pattern. So I've already drawn it here for you. What you do is you take the lowest point between the left shoulder and the head, which is here, and typically you would take the lowest point between the head and the right shoulder, which is technically here. However, I actually drew it up here, and the reason being is because we have 3 points up here. I guess I could draw it a little bit different. So now we have 3 points. Actually, I was making a copy of this video earlier, and Bitcoin was up here. It wasn't even all the way down here. But the reason I drew this neckline sloping to where it hits these 3, now 4 points, is because you really don't want a neckline sloping down to the right like this. The main reason is because by the time this price gets all the way down here, you pretty much are already in the negative if you were long this coin, and it's not a good place to be. If you're looking for a topping pattern, you want to have the earliest possible signal. And this just being one bar, I have no problems with drawing this line up here. So there's a possibility, even though the volume is light right now, this could pop back up. It may not pop through here. It may not come down through the neckline. Or it may ignore the neckline, but we do have a head and shoulders pattern. You should be wary of that if you're in Bitcoin. Ethereum, I just want to go through a couple of these real quick. I always like to talk about Bitcoin and Ethereum. I also want to point out that I was on the 2-hour chart in Bitcoin and also with Ethereum, but I'm going to go out to the daily chart with Ethereum. Ethereum isn't doing anything. Looks like it broke down for this little consolidation. It failed to make a new high over here after 320. So looks like it's failing there. Not much to do over here. I do want to talk about IOTA, which is a recent winner that's consolidating some here. It's obviously had a big run. We came all the way down here from 30 cents up to $1. It's a 300% increase if you were lucky enough to pick it up down here. If you picked it up over this all-time high over here at about 62, you're still up significantly. So congratulations. If you're still holding on, that's great. If you sold off, I understand. This bar was a pretty scary one. If we dive into the 2-hour chart, we see the top here towards $1. Didn't quite breach it. Looks like, I don't know why. Usually it'll breach these technical levels, but the fact that it's consolidating beneath $1 is actually quite healthy. So typically what happens when you have these milestones, 50 cents, 75 cents, $1, these big round psychological barriers, things tend to happen around here. So we failed at the $1. We're going to consolidate, and eventually we're going to head higher above $1. There's nothing in the charts that tell us anything other than that. I mean, there's nothing about this that's bad. You have a big volume day on this high bar, but you know, I can't be mad at that after such a large increase. Another one we want to talk about here is OMG. OMG looks like it's about to take out this all-time high after this run up. It's consolidated for about a week or so after a huge run up, basically doubling in the course of a couple of days, and went through a little basing pattern. Looks like it wants to go up. If we go to the 2-hour chart, drill in a little bit deeper, here's that consolidation. We have several points probing at those new highs. Each time it's pulling back, but it looks like now it's actually has a little bit more upward momentum. We'll see how this bar actually ends up. Maybe it closes all the way down here, but it did breach this prior bar, broke this consolidation, broke this bar. Looks like it was running up here. Maybe it fails, maybe it doesn't, but this is one to keep your eye on for the short term and the long term. The next one is Pay. Pay is forming a great, or 10x if you're more familiar with 10x, or if you don't know anything about it, actually the symbol is Pay, but the coin name is 10x. Okay, look it up. It has a really cool technology behind it, and it's showing some really good bottoming action up in here. Had another fantastic run up from 0.0008, topped out over here over 17, so over 100% increase if you were to buy it over this prior high. And it looks like it's kind of putting in a bottom. Maybe it's in this part of the, if these end up being the same patterns, it's probably at approximately this level. So it's probably going to flatten out before it curves up and goes towards all-time highs or surpasses all-time highs. But it's still at a pretty good point. Not a super huge risk here, but still isn't going to be breaking out anytime soon, in my opinion. What you want to see in this is you want to see volume start to increase. We're basically in a volume consolidation right now. So if you notice, the volume here slowly starts to decline. I'd like to see a couple of big bars in here, but we just don't have them, which is good because it means there's not a lot of selling. We have some accumulation happening, and we don't have a lot of selling, which is a positive. So anyway, that's my quick overview. Bitcoin's consolidating. We have some prior runners that are now consolidating. IOTA, NEO is another one that was a big winner that is now consolidating. Also, we went over OMG. OMG about to go into all-time highs from what it looks like according to these charts. Although it could take a few more days, and I couldn't be mad at it for that. And Pay looks like it's putting in a nice bottoming action here. So that's a quick run over of these cryptocurrencies. If you're in Bitcoin and you're in for the long term, you don't, like I said, you don't have to be worried about this head and shoulders pattern. It may not even come to fruition. It may just chop sideways and continue higher. Anyways, guys, that's it. We'll talk to you later.